everyone, Cindy Settlement here, and welcome to an exciting edition of the best, worst, and blandest. This time around, we're actually following up in a year. That's because it kind of follows through on a mistake I made in a previous video. And you can find out about that if you watch the best, worst, and blandest of 1993. The reason being is because the original nominee that I had for Blandest Show of the Year was actually from 1994. Now, I am rectifying it by giving you the full best, worst, and blandest of 1994. I hope you enjoy it. Now, last year, for 1993, I had Legends of the Hidden Temple as the best game show of 1993. And I gotta be honest, when it comes to 1994, there was some stiff-ish competition happening. You had the new Price is Right with Doug Davidson that debuted. You also had Family Feud going through another revamp because Richard Dawson took over for Ray Combs. Wheel was still going strong. Jeopardy was still going strong. Daytime Price was still going strong. But I still liked Temple more than all of those shows. So I looked towards cable, and Shop Till You Drop was fun. Supermarket Sweep was still killer. And yet, I had to turn to PBS to find the winner, and that is Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Now, it's a fantastic show. In 93, I thought Temple was a bit better than Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. However, in 1994, that flipped, because there are some changes made to Temple in 1994 that kind of hindered everything. Kirk Fogg, for example, was made into less of the guide or the host. Essentially, all the frivolity and all the hosting stuff went to Olmec, and all the explanations and everything of the events. It seemed like Kirk Fogg was there just to be there. When it comes to Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, they just went all out in 93 and 94. Greg Lee was a little more animated, and he bounced off of Rockapella more. He bounced off of Lynn Thigpen, aka the Chief, more. Also the celebs that would pop up more. And it was just a fantastic time. And to be honest, it was also improved because it just seemed like Carmen Sandiego had a lot more energy happening in 94 than it did in 93. And I just love it. I honestly love Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego in 94. The first season of Carmen Sandiego was finding its footing, improved in the second season, improved in the third season, and they got the formula right 100% in the fourth season. I absolutely enjoy it. And I kind of wish that it lasted longer than it did, because the show ended in near the tail end of 95 after the fifth season, and then we got the Where in Time version. But Where in the World has always been fantastic, and I can't deny it. It's so good. Now, coming to the blandest, and it's a tie. All three of the Family Channel interactive games not named Trivial Pursuit: Shuffle, Jumble, Boggle. Well, they were all gussied up to have different styles of gameplay. It was all the same. It was just Wink asked a question, then you had the music bumper, which was used on all three of those shows. So you hit one of the numbers on the touchpad on your podium, and it was played in concert with the interactive players that would be playing over the phone during this time. And they could win prizes as well. The problem with all three is that they were all the same. They felt the same, even if they had different formats. Just the look and feel of them all. I know they taped on the same soundstage because the backgrounds were the same. Just a couple of key set pieces were different. Like Boggle had a big keypad with Boggle cubes on it. Jumble had like interactive cartoons on it. Shuffle had this interesting first and second format, but it all became one big pile of goo when taking all three of them into account. And to think, I consider this the blandest more than Free for All or Quicksilver on USA. And those two shows are pretty bland. But at least with Quicksilver, there was some salt to go with the mashed potatoes. With Free for All, there was some smooth butter to go on the mashed potatoes, and Mark L. Wahlberg being the host. As for Boggle, Jumble, and Shuffle, even with Wink Martindale's hosting, it just came off very samey. You didn't get any contestants to root for because none of them spoke until the end when Wink Martindale interviewed them after they had won the trip. And to me, that's kind of a bad thing. That is a bad thing. Where the main element to these three shows wasn't the show itself. It was the interactive game, the 1-900 number where you would pay like $4.95 a minute for 2 minutes and play this game in the hopes to possibly win something. So everything had to be sandblasted. But yet it's not the worst, oddly enough.
It happened! Can't win with it!
You see, while you could say those three shows combined could be the worst, in most cases it wasn't offensive. And then you had Trashed on MTV, and it got pretty offensive in some instances. Like, I did a full-scale game show garbage review a few years ago on Trashed. And there was so much wasted talent on that show. Chris Hardwick, Joel Hodgson, hell, if I remember correctly, who was it? Garofalo. I forget her first name, but Janine Garofalo. That's who it was. Janine Garofalo was on that show. And then all of these SoCal alternative comics who would 10 years later be huge. And it just didn't work. Also, I think the comparison that I made was, this was like Evil Bastard Remote Control. And Evil Bastard Remote Control does not work. Because you have to have a balance with a remote control styled show. There's another show, and when we get to Best, Worst, and Blandest of 96 or 97, I might combine those 2 years. The best would probably be intellectual remote control. Yet here we are with Evil Bastard Remote Control, and it doesn't work. And the only bright spot about this is a bonus game that rips off the $100,000 Pyramid. And that can only get you so far. So, what I'm saying is, with Trashed, it was a hackneyed format, a tired format, offensive, humiliating, and yet it's not the worst MTV game show of all time. No, because in 2000, I want to say 2003, 2004, somewhere along those lines, they had Kidnapped, and that is 10 times worse. Before I end this Best, Worst, and Blandest, I do want to give a shout out to someone who planted the idea of doing 1994 in my head, and his name is the Uncle Frosty. You can follow him on Twitch at the Uncle Frosty. He plays a bunch of games. I know he does. I think I played Among Us with him a little while ago, and it's great fun. And I want to do more with him on his channel, but our schedules just don't mesh. But he is a fantastic streamer. Go check him out. And thumbs up to him for planning the bug of doing Best, Worst, and Blandest of 1994, just so I could talk about the Family Channel interactive games again. With that being said, thank everybody for watching. Thumbs up this video, and also share it on all the socials. Also, comment below on what you think is the Best, Worst, and Blandest show of 1994, and what other years you want me to do. I know somebody on another video that I've done wants me to do 1991. Hold that thought. That is coming. Anyway, also, follow us on the socials. Subscribe to this channel, and if you want to be really, really helpful, become a Patreon backer, like these wonderful people at patreon.com/gameshowgumbo. Yes, these wonderful people right here. Come my face? Yeah, right there. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. See you next time.